What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Brown, and this is the Ash Said It Show. Over 1,900 episodes, 500,000 streams worldwide and growing, and all of this is on account of you guys. So thank you for all the shares and cares. It makes a huge difference. And today, this is friend to the show now, all right? So this is his second appearance on the show, co-founder of Rupee Beer, the wonderful Van Sharma. Hey, Van.
Hey, Ash, how's it going?
It's going great. Happy New Year. All the good energy.
Happy New Year, 2024.
Yes. It's crazy. I felt like I just talked to you. It's been a while, but
It's been a minute. Yeah, thanks for inviting me back. I appreciate that.
Definitely. So, Van, I want to share with the audience, for those that maybe missed your previous appearance, give us like a brief history on who is Rupee Beer.
Yeah, totally. You touched on it a bit. One of the founders of Rupee Beer. Rupee is a line of Indian-inspired beers specifically crafted to pair with international spicy flavors.
Mm-hmm.
We're brewed by a world-renowned master beer brewer. He's launched almost 100 international craft breweries around the world.
Wow.
The BBC has called him, the Johnny Appleseed of craft brewing. So we were looking to do something in the beer world. We're grateful that we were able to align with him. And it's a joint venture with my brother. We're Indian, but we also kind of grew up in some really cool places. I was born in the UK. My parents are Indian, but they're from East Africa. So for us, growing up, our family business was Indian restaurants. Mm-hmm. So we always wanted to create the go-to, beverage to pair with spicy and international food. So that's kind of how Rupee came to be. We're also grateful last year we were named Best Beer for World Food. So, in our nature is very Indian. We started off with, even the name India, Rupee is a very, it's the currency of India and 7 other countries. Mm-hmm. But now we're grateful. We're sold into a wide variety of different types of international restaurants and businesses across the United States.
Yes. And I also want to say, personally love the beer. It is amazing. It's one of my favorites now. I'm like, okay, I know the company. I know a little bit about their history. And now it's available in local spots here in Georgia. And in Alpharetta, one of my favorite places to go and visit has it. And I was asking them because I think I may have missed the season. It was mango season where there was that big mango activation everywhere that we were so excited about. But I missed it. But I wanted to know, when is mango going to be available again?
Yeah, no, good question. I get that question all the time. A lot of people also emailing saying I can't find the mango beer on the shelves. So last year on World Mango Day, we launched our second beer. And we knew that when we were doing a beer, wanted something, all of our beers are just very easy to drink, light, smooth, refreshing, non-offensive. We want people that even if beer is not their favorite, alcohol of choice, to have a sip and say, all right, this is enjoyable. This is interesting. Mangoes, national fruit of India. Indians love mangoes. The world loves mango. The world loves mangoes. So we teamed up with Alan once again, who was our initial brewer, who's also the founder of Pumpkinhead Beer, one of the most successful seasonal beers ever released. And we did our mango themed beer, which is a very light, smooth, tropical infused beer. And that is available exclusively during the summer months. So that will be back late April. So look for that across. If you're in Georgia, if you're in Atlanta, we'll be coming there as well. It's a great summer beer to enjoy at the beach. If you're just hanging out at home, at a restaurant. As mentioned, all of our beers are just easy to drink, and that's kind of why we want to drink a very approachable beer.
Yes, definitely. Now, what can you tell us about the new beer, Van?
Yeah, for sure. So it's funny, we're an Indian beer company. So like one of the biggest things that people would always ask us if we're at a festival or craft beer fair would be like, oh, well, it's an Indian company. You guys must have an IPA, an India Pale Ale. And we just didn't have an IPA. Mm-hmm. So that was always really interesting when we would hear that from a lot of American consumers. And, the history of the IPA also. So we knew that we wanted to do an IPA that was smoother, easier to drink, less bitter. If you know anything about IPAs and beers, they often are pretty harsh. They're very much more bitter, very hoppy. different from a lager, right? So we knew that we wanted to do something that was a little bit more toned down and neutral, but also help educate a whole variety of beer drinkers on why it's even called an IPA or an India Pale Ale. So we teamed up with Alan, our head brewer, and from that, we were able to create an original British Indian style IPA. So for the listeners who don't know the history behind why it's called IPA, India was a colony of England, much like a lot of the Commonwealth around the world. And for 200 years or 200 plus years, when the British were occupying India, all the British generals wanted a taste of home. They wanted their lagers, their ales, their beer. So from London, they used to ship beer to India. It took about 6 months. But what they realized was on the ships, the beer would spoil during that very long journey to India. Yeah. So they started adding in extra hops to make the beer work as a natural preservative. And what that did was it made the taste super bitter and a lot hoppier upon arrival at ports in India. So that's kind of where the modern day IPA existed and why so many drinkers in the United States, when they're out, you go to a bar, there's dime a dozen IPAs on tap. So we wanted to brew something that had some history and brought it back to more of the original style of the IPA. And we released it on Diwali, which is the largest calendar holiday for the Indian community in November, our festival of light, our New Year essentially. And now it's a year-round beer. It's doing really well. Also in Georgia. So that's kind of the feel behind our IPA.
Definitely. Awesome. Now, Van, we're in a brand new year full of tons of opportunities and new things that are going to be happening in just the industry as a whole. What are your hopes for Rupee beer? Like, what are some of the things that you guys want to make sure that you do this year?
Yeah, good question. I think 2024, just kicking things off, still being in January, so we're still getting together our kind of key priorities and goals for what we want to accomplish when the year does end. I think for us, our continued growth is a big part of our journey. Right. So we get lots of inquiries from people in Texas, in Illinois, in California saying, when am I going to see Rupee at my local Indian restaurant? So in America, alcohol is regulated, so it's state by state. So we're hoping to expand into new markets where we do have a lot of demand. Also more activations and more in-person events. So definitely look for us if you are on the East Coast at an event coming up in the next few months. Hoping to do more in Atlanta and Georgia as well, where you're based, Ash. Yeah. So we just want to get out and see a lot more of our customers.
Absolutely loving that. And Van, where can people go if they want to get some more information or if they want to follow you guys on social media?
Yeah, so everything, our website, rupeebeer.com, and we're pretty social. We're on all the major platforms at Rupee Beer. And also now, if you're interested ever and you're in a market that doesn't serve beer, actually just a couple of days ago, we just launched our new online ordering. So you can order beer directly to your home if you're in a part of the United States that we don't currently sell in.
Gotcha. Awesome. As always, Van, I know that there are going to be new announcements and new things, and I just would love to snatch you back to get that stuff first.
Cool. So, we'd love to come back, and thanks for inviting us back.
Absolutely. Much more success to you and the whole team, and you guys look out for Rupee Beer. The takeover is real. It's happening. So we're definitely going to claim that. But
appreciate that.
Definitely. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.